illustration, graphic design. And if you didn't know, I was the PR for it this year. Another thing is that I commute 40 minutes all the way from Lincoln County to here every day. But luckily next year I'll be living off campus, which is like 7 to 10 minutes away. So yay, because like I'll be able to put more time to HSA as well as in my schoolwork. So my main 2 goals as president that I want to pursue is outreach and engagement, just to kind of sum it up. I want to continue working with SEAC, doing the voter registration. I was hearing from people that it was a very eye-opening experience, and that personally for me, my family members came out and I didn't even know they didn't have citizenship. So I think doing things for like community outreach would be very helpful for HSA and the community. I feel like as a club on campus, HSA, we do have a duty to help our community, to serve our community. I even had people, someone from elementary who needed Hmong translators, and they actually contacted ASA, and I feel like making ourselves known out there, saying, hey, we are able, our members are able to help come out and volunteer for you guys, and it was a paid position, by the way. So I want them to be able to come directly to us and know that we're reliable. Another thing I want to focus on is new membership, along with maintaining current members, such as going through with the cabin trip next year, and as well as doing activities during the GBMs, like more like teamwork-based activities. Plus, while we do that, it will also, like, all the new incoming freshmen will feel a lot more connected and feel more open to coming out. I think another way to actually talk to the incoming freshmen is to go to the SOAR events. If you remember SOAR, whenever that was, it was like everybody was so excited and you want to see all the clubs that are coming out. And for me personally, I was looking for HSA, but I did find like Delta Phi Lambda and other Asian orgs, and I think that coming out to at least like 1 or 2 SOAR events would help a lot in putting our name out there and saying like, hey, we've been here for a minute, come to us and we'll show you what we got. As long as doing showcase as well as we do every year. And then for Han Night, that is next year. That is going to be a very big event, and I do want to focus on bringing other orgs to come out. And an idea that I have for that is to have maybe like a little dance group. It could be how many people want to come out, but I would probably go and ask them in person, like, hey, do you have anybody who's like really talented at dancing or wants to learn how to Hmong dance? And then maybe in the beginning or the opening of Han Night, we would have them do their dance they learned that would be like 2 or 3 minutes long. And this would be accomplishing our mission to spread Hmong awareness, and also just openly communicating with the other orgs, like, hey, we do things on campus too, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So yeah, those are my 2 main goals, outreach and engagement. And I think that this would benefit us as a club and just make it a lot more active. Thank you.
So now is the period that will allow for questions to be asked to concept. If anybody has any questions, please ask.
I got a question. Was it since you are, I believe you are the president for this upcoming year, because you're the only one. I have a question for you. No, it's actually for you, but it's for your e-board, your new e-board. So basically, mine is like, what are the important qualities or skills you look for the people that you want to be in your e-board? So this is for they're actually running.
I would like them to have things on time. I think time management is super important. For me, I think of myself as organized, and I do like to give people tasks, and that way that I like to spread out the work evenly, and so making sure that the e-board members that will be running for next year can do things on time and help everything come together. That's one of the main big things, and also being open to incoming freshmen. I want them to be actively engaging with them, talking with them, conversating, as long as with the current members. So I want them to be the glue to everything, and that's what I expect out of them.
So you said something along the lines of trying to get more new members and retaining more members. So I had a question. Are you aware that existing existing members now believe that HSA is a dying club, and what are you going to do to help change their minds?
I have heard of that concern. Sadly this year, it was, by the time I did hear that, there wasn't much I could do to really reinforce all that. There are like some things that we could do, such as like host events and bring people together just to remind each other that, you know, HSA is still here. But as for next year, that is why I want to focus on bringing in new members, new energy. I think that when you bring in new people, and the current members who are loyal to HSA see that, it makes everybody want to come back in together. So that's just like one of like the small steps into like telling people that HSA is not a dying club. I think that through hard work and through faith in others, that HSA can be what it was maybe a couple years ago. But I also like to remind people that clubs aren't always consistently going to be successful. There's ups and downs, and I do see other orgs on campus that have had that problem, but they still do maintain their name and their brand and what they do, because there are people out there who do see the value in HSA. For me, if you do see the value in HSA, you will stick around and you will come back. And I think for me, that's what I've been thinking and doing. Like, I want to come back and I want to add more to this club. So. Did I answer your question? There's a lot to that. There is a lot to that. And I have put some deep thought into that when conversating with some members and talking to them about their concerns with this year. So hopefully next year we won't have that problem, because I know this year we focused a lot on events, a lot of bigger things, and a lot of that time took up members, like connection time. That makes sense. So hopefully with better time management, next year we'll be able to avoid those issues of just overbooking ourselves and not setting realistic goals for ourselves as well. Yes.
Okay, so next year you will be a junior, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so junior year will be difficult too. I think president is a lot of work to it. There will be a lot of work in general for itself, but how would you split up the work? Let's say you get too much schoolwork. How would you split up the work between all your around your whole team?
So I think the way that I do work now, I'm able to get everything done, including being part of PR. The only dilemma is that I live 40 minutes away. It takes me so long to get back home, to get here. I carpool my mom, so I do have to wait on her sometimes, and vice versa. So the fact that I'll be living 10 minutes away from campus, to me, that's like, I feel like I'll be able to do a lot of things actually. But when it comes to spacing out my work, I personally like to stay on campus, like to accomplish my task instead of staying in my apartment, because I probably will fall asleep or something like that. So to evenly space out my work, like I said, I do believe I'm organized. I carry agenda everywhere I go. I like to stay on top of things. And with properly setting out tasks to the e-board and potentially members who want to help and interns as well, that will help alleviate some task on my end and make it like a well-running machine. And so in hopes of like establishing that in the beginning of the year and saying that everybody has the responsibilities will help everybody to be on time with their work. So for me, there is no excuse in that case. Yes.
What do you think some of your weaknesses are?
I think that some of my weaknesses are like doubt within myself, fear. I think that's prevalent in everybody, but for me personally, I think I'm like too much of a perfectionist and I expect too much. But if I come back to myself and I am logical and realistic with everything that's happening and that, you know, things don't always go perfectly, I can come back to my center and I can tell myself that everything's going to be okay. And it's all about how you cope with things as well. So like understanding how to cope with stress is very important. And I've personally been exploring that, such as getting enough sleep, actually socializing, and doing that stuff, because I realized that I need that to function.
We have about time for one more question.
Explain your one core value you demonstrate and how do you wish to communicate that to your e-board?
To show you this, like one core value that I show now.
Sure.
Oh,
That
okay.
you wish to communicate to the rest of the e-board?
Um,
And to the rest of the club, too.
yeah, I think being passionate is one thing. When it came to doing community work, you have to be there. You have to be there to understand the situation. And for HSA, if I want to want to do CF work, I would like everybody to continue that compassion for lone people and other people in general. I think for me, that's what I came to HSA for, to learn from other people, to understand other people's struggles, and so to be compassionate and passionate in general, whatever, is very important. I think that's what, are you saying like what I expect as e-board as well? Are you asking that, like what I want them? Yeah. So yeah, compassion and being passionate for HSA and for the duties that we do as a club.
Hey guys, my name is Charlie Yang. I'm currently double major in biology and health system management. This year actually might be my last full year. That's why I decided to run for VP. I really want, as an individual, you always want to go in and challenge yourself. So I feel like, this is something that has a big responsibility, and I wanted to step up and see if I'm, capable of handling such a task. So, I think I have most just ideas how I want to really change HSA. So one of the things is that I feel like I was kind of sad that we had e-board meetings like every other week, because we should spend that time actually just spend time bonding with each other, do community work. So one of the things we can do is culture activities. I feel like we're promoting your future, but not exactly preserving your past, because we don't really do much at all about our culture. So for example, we could talk about how to properly address your family names. For example, another example is just voting votes, symbolism like burning money, for ancestors, and just stuff like that. Just preserve your past, because I feel like if someone just asks you what makes you a lone person, it's kind of hard to really identify yourself as a lone individual if we don't really talk about it at all. Yeah. Now another thing is too is community and service. I feel like now the way things are, we put a lot of emphasis on our main events, but I think that might be a little selfish, because we don't do things that actually benefit us, but not things that us as the kindness of our heart to go and help. Another thing with that too is community work is just community work. It's really hard to actually get the members to come out and support that. So I mean, that's one thing if I do get the position, I have to talk to my e-board, find a way to encourage people to come out, even just for just your time, which is valuable. Another thing is I would like to implement an open door policy, because as of now, I hear a lot of people are have a lot of criticism and feedback, but they're just members venting to other members and not really brought to the attention of e-board team. So open door policy, if they have any questions, they always come to the e-board, explain their situation and have the situation be worked out. Also power the members. I feel like HSA, we're only as strong as the members that make up HSA. We go hold an event, but nobody comes out, then it's really no value in that event. So I feel like e-board team this year, just kind of talk to themselves about it, and as a member, I feel like the only thing I was really bound to do was just show up to these events. I had no say what was going on, just show up and help out. I didn't mind it, but I feel like I could have done more to contribute to HSA. Yeah, this is some few of my ideas I want to change, and some qualifications. I was a manager at Chick-fil-A for about a year, so this stuff is not exactly it's not far off what I'm pleased with doing. I was secretary at Ping Pong Club for half semester too, so controlling a Facebook page, sending out emails, and it's not too far off. And then, I've been a member for 2 years. I mean, I'm always coming out to these events. I mean, as y'all see in my Facebook profile pictures, every single picture is I really, love HSA and care for it. When I first started, Mark tried to introduce me to everybody, but now I feel like I kind of made a name for myself, so I feel like I want to really see what I can do for HSA and make my mark. Any questions?
So with being like a double major and having your last like senior year technically, how would you be able to balance HSA time with your homework and everything that has to be done?
Well, so I'm actually like almost done with my biology major right now, so I'm just worried about my other major. And as for now, I mean, next semester I don't plan to work only just the weekends, so I can prioritize HSA activities because if we do go out and try to reach out to other people, there's gonna be events that can happen throughout the week at night. So I'm gonna be there to represent HSA, so I realize I'm gonna have to sacrifice some of my time to play for HSA. That's one reason why I'm decided to just work this weekends next semester.
So with the meetings and how you want to celebrate certain things in the culture, such as like holding votes and learning, just like learning the language, how do you go about properly? Okay, so my thing is like a lot of the members are still very close to their culture. They understand how certain things are done and how to speak the culture. But for me personally, I didn't really know how to speak the language. I recently learned how to hold votes, but like the majority, everybody already knew. And so if like those meetings are conducted, it's how do you intend on making it new and exciting? How do you intend to properly advertise it to non-vote members so that way like the energy is there in those meetings?
Yeah, so I mean, I do feel like we should be kind of diverse as well, but I feel like that. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Can you tell me your question again? Sorry.
How do you plan to make those meetings? How do you plan to like spruce them up?
Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like this is where we kind of reach out to the members too. Since we all have some aspect of the Hmong culture. I mean, we can see what they want to contribute to the e-board with these like meetings here. I mean, they can always feel free to do that as well. I feel like we can advertise. I think as of now, I feel like social media is like a great way to actually like expose ourselves because first thing people do most of the time is like wake up, check Instagram or Facebook. It's kind of like a daily life routine for most people. So I feel like social media would be a big aspect of reaching out to outside members. I feel like to make it interesting, it's gonna be hard because if you can't really make it interesting. I mean, they have to have an interest to want to learn the culture because we're kind of unheard of, and the things that we just have to provide good topics for them to be interested about is what we should really try to do.
I got a question for you, Charlie. What makes you different from the other candidates?
Okay, so other candidates, the only person I really know well is Nancy.
Say, you're a guy.
Yo!
Just kidding. I'm just kidding, bro.
He's got better grades.
Better grades.
It's okay, Charlie, I won't be mad at you.
I mean,
I can ask a different question.
yeah, that's kind of rude.
That's like you asking him which is his favorite sibling.
Bash another person. I don't think that's a good question. Sorry.
Yeah, favorite sibling. So you mentioned something earlier about how there's just like members venting to members, and how you want us, I guess, to have a voice. What's your plan to making sure that members have a voice in this club?
I mean, like, I feel like for most of my ideas, to put the stress off the e-board team, I mean, we should want to communicate and see what the people want first. And if they all agree on it, enact what they want, like kind of like a democracy, kind of like that. Because the way things are now, if you have a say in something, you're more obligated to want to be a part of it because you feel like you play a role in that part. So yeah, I think that's great. Did that answer your question? Okay. Dirk?
Do we have time?
That just went to -1 second. Alright, that was the last one. But
So you mentioned that you love HSA. How do you get people, new members or current members, to also love HSA?
That is a really good question because personally, coming to HSA, I was like, pretty antisocial. I knew nobody. I think just that year, I guess I just started welcoming like officers that really brought me in and maybe love the people too. Just like the bonds we make in our meetings and other parties that happen.
Parties? What parties?
I'm sorry, Charlie.
That just comes down to just the meetings have to be really interesting, all the activities that we do because honestly I wanted to run for all the other positions as well, like secretary and treasurer, because I want to be kind of part and just overlook everything. So as VP, I feel like I'll be able to do that. So if I'm VP, I have control. And what I see that worked for me, which made me interested, I want to try to implement that, as ideas as activity coordinator and see what we can do to actually make it more interesting for members.
Hello everybody, my name is Nancy Bang and I am a biology major. I'm minoring in psychology and I'm a senior this year, but I'm taking an extra year next year. So I'll be graduating in spring 2020, hopefully. And yeah, like Brandon said, I'm running for vice president and secretary. I've been an HSA member for 2 years now, and this past semester I was able to intern with the exec team and go behind the scenes on how they prepare everything, and it was really interesting, and it was a pleasure working with them behind the scenes. I learned how to make buttons for the college tour with Con and Amber. I learned how to make backdrop decorations with Shay, so I was able to connect with the members. And so something that I learned while interning with them was that they're very supportive of each other. They're always there for each other. If one of the officers can't make it or they can't do something, someone else will step up and they will cover for them. So I believe that I would be a good addition to the team because I'm very supportive also, and I will step up and how Con said, she wants people to be on time with their deadlines, and I believe I can make that happen. So yeah, and it was just a pleasure working with them because I understand that this past year was very difficult because since we were hosting the HSA Summit and everything that was happening, I love the way that they work with each other though because everything went smoothly. There were a lot of attendance, and if you guys didn't come to the HSA Summit, you guys missed out because it was awesome. And I think the HSA executives did amazing with everything. And so if I'm elected next year, some goals I have are, like Charlie said, more meetings next year. It's not like I'm copying Charlie, but I do think that we should do more meetings every week. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing meetings every 2 weeks this semester, or not semester, but this year, because I understand everybody's busy, everybody has their own stuff to do, but I believe having meetings every week would help people be more involved. And I also think that we should also do flyers to advertise our meetings and activities, maybe university-wide, because HSA is not Asian exclusive, so I think we should get more people by doing flyers. And I think we should also follow through with an HSA trip, whether it's to the cabin or to the beach, because our members work hard and they deserve that. And I also think that next year, HSA members should go out and do school activities together, like movie nights, because the movies here are free and we should always, go hang out, enjoy each other's company, get closer. And yeah, so I think that's how we can socialize and make HSA better and just make HSA fun, because
that's honestly what made me want to join HSA, because when I first came here, I was honestly kind of scared to come to HSA because I was like, I don't know anybody. I'm scared that I would be like in my little corner, but then I remember like Bonia and Caitlin and all the girls were just so welcoming. They talked to me like they knew me from day one, and like they just made me feel very welcome. So I feel like HSA is family to me because HSA is very important because they helped me come out of my shell, and I made many connections to this organization. So it's very important that I become part of the HSA team that makes HSA possible. And so I decided to run this year, or not this year, next year, because next year is my last year, but it's also my most important year. So I think that that will be very beneficial to me because I want to get closer with HSA. And I know that many people are graduating and leaving, so HSA may get smaller or bigger, who knows, but many more people will also be joining HSA. And so if I'm a part of HSA team, I can make the new members feel welcome, just like how I was when I was first welcomed in. And you know, if I'm a part of the HSA exec team and I welcome them, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, the vice president / or secretary wants me to go? Like, yes, definitely. So I want to be able to connect with the new people, just like how I was connected with when I first came here. So I think that would be very beneficial to me to become HSA exec, so that I can welcome more people. And so that's all. Thank you.
I have a question. Okay, you mentioned that you want to like invite other people because HSA is just not agent exclusive. How do you plan to? I know you said you're going to put a flyer, but how do you plan to encourage other people to come besides just flyers?
I did think that we should do collabs more with other organizations, just like how Con said, because if we do collabs with other organizations, they will understand that HSA is very open with other people. They want to collab and they want to work with other people other than just like Asian people, because like, not gonna lie, we're just like with Asian people, but then like, yeah, we should collab with other organizations on campus. We can also put ourselves out there by doing fundraisers, social media and stuff by that kind of means.
So I love what you said about bringing in more new members. Is there anything that you're going to implement? You're kind of like trying to retain the existing members? For instance, there's a lot of members who've been part of the club but no longer come.
No longer come. Well, so you're saying how am I going to make members who are already in the club come back next year? Is that what you're asking me? Well, like I think it's more about passion, just like how Con said, because if you're passionate about HSA, you will continue to keep coming out. And like I said, I think we should make HSA fun. We should do activities during meetings so it's not the same old thing every single time. And we should do activities so that we make HSA more fun, more social, and we become closer together. Because if we're closer to each other, people will always want to go to the meetings. Like, oh, I'm going because Bonia's going. I'm going because Con's going to be there, obviously, because she's going to be the president. But I believe if we build each other's connections, each other's bonds, then more people will want to come out. Because I think bonding and the relationship between each other that we have is very important. Question. Yes, Tom.
So this follows along with Pooh's question. So with the members are graduating, let's say those are graduating this semester. Since they're going to be considered alumni now, do you have like a method of how to keep in contact with this alumni and have them come back and help out with events or just come back and enjoy the events?
We don't want to, no.
Big drama there.
I mean, like, we could always keep in contact by getting their information And whenever we do fundraisers or activities on campus, we could always send out invites and see if they want to come by and visit. But if they don't, that's fine too, because I understand they're like, oh, I'm so done with this school. But keeping in contact, I think we could probably do that with our activities that we do, because whenever they come back, we want them to have fun. We don't want them to just come back like, oh, the memories. But I want them to, if they come back, I want them to know that HSA is still fun. HSA is still like family, so they can come back and visit us anytime. So our activities on campus will probably be what I would say is the main thing that's to bring them back.
It's the parking.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, $450 for a year for that parking?
Oh yeah, let me ask you. So this is a unique question. So if you're a superhero, who would it be and why?
Who would I be?
Wasting time on this.
I would like to be, what's her name?
Wonder Woman.
No, not Wonder Woman.
Iron Man's girl?
Captain Marvel?
No,
Black Widow.
the blue girl, Mystic. Because she could be anything she wants, right? She could become another person. She could be, I don't know, transform into whatever. She could transform into, I don't know, a sexy woman and kill guys, I guess. But I think she's very cool because she could turn into anything she wants, and that's what I want to do anything I want.
All right.
You're a
Yeah.
plastic girl.
About time for one more question.
Any more questions? Yes, you.
So I know you said you want HSA to be more fun and social, but there are times to be fun, there are times to be professional. How do you communicate that to the members to make sure they're all on the same page when to be social, have fun, and when to be professional and coordinated and organized?
I mean, I understand that there are times when you need to be professional, but I want them to have fun, but I don't want them to always be so serious. Because if they're always serious, then that means that they can't have fun. But I think it's a hard question because it's a level of maturity, because they should know when to be professional. If they don't, then I guess I will have to set them straight, or Colin will have to set them straight. Yeah, that's the whole point of being exec, because you gotta tell them, hey, we gotta get this done. You can't be fooling around. So that's the point of being bold, of being part of the exec team, because you have that power. Because if you're just, I mean, everybody's opinion matters, but if the exec team is telling you to be serious, be professional, you know that that means something. So it's important to be part of the exec team. I mean, everybody on the HSA team is always, I mean, it's also, their opinion and words are important too, but that would just have to be from the exec team, that we tell them when to be professional and when to like have fun. Does that answer your question? I guess we could always tell them when they need to have fun and be professional. But then, I mean, during activities, not activities, but like events, they should know that they need to get it done. But during meetings, we could just have fun because we're trying to be ourselves and connect with each other.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Sunny. I haven't really gotten the chance to get to know like all of you, but this is why I'm running for e-board. I'm an accounting major. I transferred in this year from Catawba Valley Community College. I am a junior, but I'm planning on double majoring, so I'll be taking an extra year here. So as an accounting major, I have taken like Principles in Accounting 1 and 2, and then right now I'm taking Intermediate Accounting 1, and it's a much more in-depth class to Principles in Accounting. And basically, accounting is like bookkeeping. So you're just keeping track of when, where, and what the money is being spent on, and obviously you gotta get reports. I've also taken like communication courses because for me personally, it's important that I'm able to communicate clearly to other people because I ask a lot of questions and sometimes it gets kind of annoying. So it's important for me that I'm able to communicate clearly to other people, especially when you're working with money because you never want to spend money that you don't have on something. And, well, I guess this could be like a fun fact. This semester I'm taking a course called Professional Development for Accountants. And part of the requirement for the course is to become ethically certified, because when you're working with money, the person or the company or whoever needs to be able to trust you and be able to trust that you're going to handle their money with care, and not like steal it or use it in a way that isn't going to be beneficial to them. And so I'm certified with the NASBA Center for Public Trust in their ethical leadership program. Basically, it was like 6 modules that went over like trust, ethics and responsibility, the definitions of it, unethical work practices that you should engage in, and other people who have lost their jobs because of unethical practices. So I'm certified with that. I just wanted you guys to know, because it's like, you can trust me to handle your money. I'm not going to like steal it or do anything with it. And the big reason why I'm running for treasurer is not just because like I'm an accounting major, but because I've always felt kind of like disconnected from the Hmong culture and the Hmong youth. And so transferring into UNC Charlotte, my big priority was to join HSA, because this was my chance to get to know all of you guys, you know, like people my age, and to connect with you guys and to learn more about my culture. Because me personally, growing up, my parents have always kind of told me, you'll understand when you get older, and they've never really explained some of our traditions and stuff like that. And so being a part of HSA has kind of helped me to bridge that gap. And with the Hmong youth, I've always felt kind of walled off, because I felt like there was this gap where everybody else was perfectly okay with like the Hmong culture, and they were able to identify well, but I wasn't, because we don't mean no Hmong, right? That's what they always say. And so for me personally, it's like, it's this mesh of like, I grew up with a lot of American values, but there's also like the Hmong culture that I want to respect and incorporate as well. And so being a part of HSA has kind of helped me to bridge that gap, and I wanted to give back to you guys, which is why I decided to run for treasurer. Thank you.
Alright, so just tell us a little bit about, just tell us more about yourself, since most of us probably don't only know who you are that well. Just tell us like some of your strengths and weaknesses.
Icebreaker. I feel like my biggest strength, but it's like a double-edged sword. I overanalyze and overthink things a lot of the time. So it's like I can sometimes you'll give me a problem and I'll think out of all sorts of solutions for it. But then it's also like I start to wonder if maybe I'm being too overly involved. I'm asking too many questions. It's like I don't want to be annoying, but I need to know because I need to cover all the bases. I think my biggest weakness though is the fear of humiliation and failure, because I don't know, it's always a thought at the back of my mind. It's always, what if I'm not good enough and I completely humiliate myself and I'm a total failure and everybody hates me? And it's something that I've been working on. It's part of the reason why I'm up here, because there was multiple times where I almost talked myself out of like even running for treasurer, but I steeled myself and I got up here anyway. And another big strength would be like organization and communication. It's two very important parts for me, because if you're not organized, then your time management is just all over the place, and if you can't communicate, then you'll have problems where people misunderstand you, and all sorts of other things can come up. Another question?
This year, we have a lot of issues like the fundings, like we're gonna go on our trip, I guess, not sure like for time or it was the money. So like, do you have any different ideas aside from like our care when volunteering, money, or IFS? What ideas can you put out?
So I reached out to Gajwa about that because I wanted to know like what she might have done as treasurer, and she said something about applying for grants, but she didn't like go into detail about it. And she also mentioned Polaroids as a part of the fundraising and selling them. I'm not sure how that would have gone since we didn't do it. But I think that for fundraising, we should do, I don't know, events where we promote our culture to other people and maybe just sell tickets. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive or anything. It's just maybe $1 or something. And we could bring in the money, but we can also promote our culture to other people so that they can see that we're not just another group of Asians here on campus.
I have one on Charlie's question as well. Like, it's just on the spot right now. Like, can you think of maybe one fundraising activity that we could do next year? It doesn't have to be loan related, but just any kind of activity, like something small or something fun.
I feel like food is a great way to bond with other people. So, like, it doesn't have to be like outside of IFAS, we could probably like do a day where we just promote food. Like, and I know like with the Hmong culture, we bring in like a lot of other Asian touches into our food, but we can always, but that's something that's been incorporated with our culture, and so we can always like make food that we would normally eat, and that'd be a way to like promote what we traditionally would eat to other people, but it would also bring other people in because it's food, and who doesn't like food? So.
Hey, so my question is, besides the duties that the treasurer handles, there's a lot of social aspect in just being an e-board member. So my question is, are you confident that you'll be able to break that social barrier and be able to interact with the other members? Because you can be an e-board member all you want, but if the members don't know you and you don't know the members, then it kind of it separates you from that bond. And then so you have an event and you have members who don't feel a connection, and they're not enticed to come because there's nothing, you know, holding them to that.
So you make a really big point. It's actually something that I'm not really good at, socializing, because for me personally, I prefer my own company versus other people. But that's part of the reason why I'm running for e-board, because I want to socialize with all of you. I want to get to know you guys. So I would go out of my way to talk with everyone and learn everybody's names, because some of y'all, I don't know your names, and I'm sorry. It's just 1 or 2 people though, I promise. But yeah, I definitely would go out of my way to talk to other people and get to know them. And even if I don't like really get to know them on a deep personal level, I can always know them on a level where I can talk to them, because we're all in college, so there's always topics that we can talk about in order to get to know each other.
Hey guys, my name is Angelina Bang, but I go by Angel for short. I'm not good at writing speeches, so I wrote a song. I'm just kidding. So even though I'm unopposed, I wanted to give my reasons why I'd like to run for this position. So one day I was on a road trip, right? And then I love playing road trip games. So we were playing Would You Rather. Have you guys played that?
Oh, it's
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so I came across this one question. So let me ask y'all this. Would you rather lose all your money or lose all the pictures you've ever taken? So like all your pictures, you just disappear.
Lose my money. My pictures.
Yeah. So you know, as you see, pictures are a huge part of our memories. You know, because you know, life gets hard, and you know, you start reminiscing, you forget about the good times. But you know, when you look at the pictures, you have that feeling back, right? So that's kind of what I want to capture for HSA. And honestly, I love taking pictures, and I want to bring back the feeling like, oh yeah, I remember this, or wow, I can't believe I used to look like that, you know, that kind of feeling back. And I want to be able to show people what HSA is composed of. I remember looking up all the HSAs in North Carolina when I was a senior. I was like, which group do I want to be in, you know? And I came across the HSA of UNC Charlotte, and I was like, yeah, it's a pretty big group. And then I started imagining myself and the pictures, like, do I belong in here, or do I belong over there? But yeah, I'm really glad I joined HSA at UNC Charlotte, and I want to be able to show the next person that's like, do I want to be in this picture? Like, yeah, you do want to be in this picture, you know? Yeah, that's all.
So I got a question. All right. So Angel, as a historian, when I got into it, I was like, taking pictures, yeah, I can do it. But there's a lot more than just pictures, and there's like, the joke always goes around, I'm just a historian, what do I know, But the historian has a lot of influence in the e-board, or everybody does. So how do you plan, or what do you want to do besides take pictures for HSA? How do you want to change it, in other words?
That's a good question. Besides just taking pictures, or besides just capturing memories, I guess I want to bring up to HSA already the leadership skills that I have, because I was secretary and activity coordinator of my youth group back at home. So I already have leadership skills, and so I already know a bunch of background knowledge, I guess, something different than the normal HSA group, I guess. And so, and not just that, okay, never mind, I just stopped there.
So historians are a really important job because at every event that HSA does, you have to be there to capture those memories. Do you know, looking far ahead into for next year, if we can manage that time to come out to every HSA meeting and capture the photos, and then they go on Facebook, and then things happen?
Yeah. So I'm actually changing majors, so I'm kind of starting all over again. So I'm back to the simple courses, I guess. So therefore, I will have enough time to come out. Like same as I did this semester or this whole year, I was able to come out and take pictures, and I was able to make videos and stuff for HSA and be able to post it on all the social media. So I could do the same thing next year.
I saw that you're really interested in like producing and making videos. Are there any other video ideas that you have for next year pertaining to some of the events we have, like Con Night, and of course every year like College Tour?
Yeah, so I was actually on HSA's YouTube channel the other day because I was wondering what HSA was like back then. And then I saw videos back then where they were making like short films or like movies or like little clips. I kind of want to do that again. I think it'll be really fun because, for the summit we did a lip sync video, but it was kind of choppy. It wasn't as organized, but I think that since I'm majoring in, I want to minor in film studies, so I'll take what I learned and be able to bring that up again and be able to do short videos or short movies. And
So it's just an idea, it's from what some of the older members have mentioned to me. So for Han next year, it will be the 10th anniversary for Han. And because of being such a bigger celebration, some older members have asked me if it's possible to do like a teaser video. So just from your opinion, how if you guys were to do a teaser video on Han, how would you guys do it? Or how would you produce it and edit it and everything?
so I haven't actually been to Hans. I'm not really sure what it is. I think it's just Hmong awareness, right?
Oh, you're so good.
So, so I guess just kind of getting the pictures from last Han night, and it would just take a lot of more planning and stuff. But yeah, being able to show what Hmong awareness is, and then telling them to come out to support Hmong people again.
I'm going back on what Thong said. I think what would be a good idea is you contact all the graduates and let them say one thing they love at UNC Charlotte HSA, and then you tease it throughout for Han Night, because it brings back 10 years from next year. Just remember, it's like remembering for like 10 years and stuff. Just an idea. Instead of taking all those pictures back and it'd be nice to get in contact with other graduates.
So honestly, I think that like because social media is becoming like the next top thing, you guys can actually make money off of videos on YouTube as well. Versus not just showing our events, but maybe like, you know, personal view of like one person experiencing their major, or you know, like just not sharing that during college tour, but also sharing on like, I don't know, you know, YouTube, you know, because YouTube is like the next big thing. So you guys make extra money on stuff.
You have to get a lot of followers first to even get money. So that's gonna take a lot, cause like we only have like what, like so far 200 people on like Facebook.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's the next
a
big thing. But
Gotcha.
if we would have done it like way back then, I feel like now we would have been like at that point. But
I think posting up like more professional content. I mean, not that y'all weren't professional back then, but you know, posting up more professional, more HD quality stuff. I think, and also being frequent, you know, consistent with postings. Because I know for the summit video that I posted, I noticed that the page reached like 50 more likes or like 100, and then like it had such a huge outreach, so it was really good.
Yeah, girl, we go.
Final question.
Where? How do you feel about the past videos and all the events that did in the past? Do you think you can we improve on it this upcoming year?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, the quality. I mean, because you know, like back then, the camera quality wasn't that good, you know. But then with all this updated technology and everything, on all this new editing software and everything, it could definitely be a lot better. And we have a lot of like creative people in the team. I've noticed because yeah, being here for a whole year, I've noticed that there's a lot of creative people in here. So definitely being able to bring that into the videos too.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. I think your brother is in there.
Right, plenty of times.
Yeah.
So my name is Judy. I don't have much to say. I love social media, so I'm gonna be up there anyway. I'm in other orgs, so it's really easy for me to interact with other orgs because I'm in 2 others, and I'm with one of the biggest one on here already, which is Campus Activity Board, and I do a lot on there. I don't know what else to say really, because I don't have anything planned out. I just know I will do really great at it because it's something I'm really passionate about. It's something my major is focused on. It's something I'm going into, and it's something I'm going to do in the future. Got my vote.
You're promoting our future.
Are there, yes, Con?
How do you plan to utilize your membership in other organizations such as like CAB?
So, CAB, they, what's the word where you combine? Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the word. Thank you.
Maybe I should reconsider my vote.
So CAB collaborated with ASA for
Hello, Asia.
Thank you for Hello Asia. But I know that since we're not that big, they won't do a big collaboration with us, but we can do something minor with other orgs. Because like CAP, they focus more on big events for the whole population for UNC Charlotte. So we can do like other orgs. Because like FOSSI, they do a lot with other orgs, so does DFIO, all the others. We can do something minor and then work our way up. We don't have to start something big, and because like that's really going to stress us out with how things went this year. We did a lot, and I feel like next year we should start smaller and then work our way up. Yes.
You seem like a very driven person, but how do you deal with criticism?
Oh, girl, I slide that off my back. I like criticism. I always ask my professor for feedback because like I want to know what y'all think, and then like I take it into account, and then I see if I should work on it, and if I should, then I work better on improving just not myself, but like how I do things. I like criticism. I like knowing people other opinions. I like talking, so it really helps me do better, and it also makes me look better. So thank you. Any other questions? Yeah.
Will you be, since you're a part of Campus Activity Board this year, will you be in Campus Activity Board next year?
Yes. I won't be one of like the big coordinators, because those take a lot more time, and I didn't have time this year because I was like, I'm doing 2 jobs, I'm doing 3 clubs, girl, I'm busy and booked. But next year, I'm just doing the same thing I am because I knew it's a lot easier for me, and I'll have more time to do my other clubs that I want to do as well. Anything else? Yes, Con.
So, my position as PR, my goal was to beef up the Instagram, use those stories, utilize the platform.
Yes.
And I made it a point to really make sure that, you know, as high schoolers, you want to see that HSA is doing well. And what's the most used app nowadays? Instagram. So I want to know how you plan to maintain social media, what you plan to add, such as Facebook and Instagram, and if you are thinking of adding any other platform as well.
Okay, I'm a big user on Twitter. Like, that's where I get my news. I don't think HSA, I don't know if we're ready for Twitter, but like, we really need to like step up on our Instagram and Facebook game. Like, especially because like we update it like what, once a month or something, or like once a week. And I feel like only one person advertised, which is like the HSA Instagram. I feel like the members should also advertise it because like they have followers that are also not part of HSA, and I feel like if we utilize the followers that we personally have, we can not just have more members, but we can also outreach more just to see like bring more awareness of our club and like what we do. Would that say anything to your question?
Kind of.
Okay.
Like,
Which part did I not?
Like the like what do you mean by members? Like utilizing like the current followers we have?
Yeah, so like I have followers that are part of like are in UNC Charlotte, but don't know anything about HSA. So like if I personally, if we have an event, like for example we just had a summit, if there was like a flyer or something for me to, or like if someone says for Judy, you want to post this on your Instagram page, or to like just advertise it or say it to your friends or post on social media, then I feel like it'll also bring more awareness because like those people watches my story on like my Instagram, but they don't do anything to HSA, you know?
Oh, so you want E4 to also be active in promoting as well?
Yes, well, not like, they don't have to like be like actively, because like that's my job. But like, just for you to take like 1 second, just post a picture and that's it. That'll be a lot, like, it'll bring more awareness. Anything else? I'm going down in 3, 2, yes. Oh, you're counting with me too.